Detroit, you need to be made aware. Welcome to Practicing Self-Awareness with hosts Robert Chacon and Jose Villegas.
Detroit, good afternoon. Listening to the Practicing Self-Awareness show right here on 1340 WCHB. We're so glad you joined us today, and I'm here with my main man, the Zerby. What's going on, Zerb?
I'm great, Zerby. How are you, sir?
Oh, man, I'm doing so good, man. We live today, so we've got it connected now where our listening audience can see and hear us and hear everything we both saying. So, the technology has been updated and we're on the way, brother. We're on the way.
That's all we got to do. The rest of it revealed to us as we go.
Oh, man, and then it's being revealed step to step. Before we get into our topic, the split self, something was revealed to me, Zerb. We've been looking at, I've been looking at the news, and I guess the biggest story now is the royal family. The royal family. Now, stay aware. The royal family. I can tell how you laughing.
What an idea.
Well, man, come on now. Watch it. Now, what I want to say about that, Zerby, is just to start us off, is I saw a lot of things where practicing self-awareness could really be put into this situation. The first thing being is I noticed that they had Meghan Markle and Harry had an interview with Oprah, and a lot of things came out that could be called racism, could be seen as racism. And what I understand is how she described it. It sounded to me like it was more of a lack of self-awareness, meaning you can live in your life and not even recognize that you are being racist because everything around you supports the ideals that you have. This is why we practice self-awareness, because it allows us to even see where we're wrong and we can be corrected and go on and have a better life. I noticed a lot of, let me just say this, and I want you to chime in on it. One thing I heard her, somebody say that, it probably was a lot of overt racism, asking what color tone the baby was going to be and different things. And I heard somebody say something that sounded so profound. I said, now that's self-awareness. She said he had to marry a black woman and be in love with her to be able to see through her eyes. And see, that's what we're talking about with self-awareness is it's being able to see through others' eyes without having a near-death experience or something traumatic, or Oprah doing an interview where it blows up all over the whole world. We're talking about practicing something that will allow you right now to see things in your experience you can't see. And I want you to chime in, but after you do, I got a few good things where we don't see what we see. Come on, Zerb.
Yeah. Well, let me give you a quick story right quick. I remember growing up in the deep South, Louisiana.
Right.
And like you said, first thing most of us do is we surround ourselves with people think like us, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's really hard to see yourself and everybody look the same, right?
Right.
But I remember growing up in racism and not even know it was racism at first. You see what I'm saying? Because it was so acceptable there. We accepted the white man to be in charge. This is not a racist statement I made. If a black man was in charge, we gave him hell because he was out of place.
Wow.
We didn't respect him. We talked stuff about him on our breaks and
Uncle Tom. Go on, say it. I know what it is. House in word. You can go on, say it. We know what it is.
Yeah. But here's what I'm getting at more than anything. You remember when I used to say, when we come to this physical world, we're in total ignorance. When I say total ignorance, we don't have any beliefs, any thoughts. We don't even have any emotional reaction. Our only reaction is about physical survival. I need to eat, my diaper's wet, change me. That type of reaction.
Right.
We don't have emotional, selfish reactions to life because we haven't developed them yet. But we go from ignorance to unconsciousness, Bird. We don't go to awareness.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
nobody teaches us how to be aware of what they've taught us. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, go ahead. Go ahead, Zerb.
No, go ahead. You was getting ready to jump it.
Yeah, no, I was just going to give you a physical example of what you're talking about because, we tell people all the time what we try to do with self-awareness is we try to show you practical examples. So hopefully you'll see it in your own experiences. Same thing we're talking about with the Royals and Meghan Markle and Oprah and Harry. And watch how I had the same experience. I was driving to work. And I made I do mix CDs. Those that know me personally know I DJ. I do mix CDs, and I did a rap hip hop CD, and I was sending it out to a couple associates of mine, let them check it out. And one of the songs on there is a song by the artist that died, Nipsey Hussle and Jay-Z. They did a collaboration. And so I was this is what you're talking about. I was typing in the word. I was telling the people I was sending, I was like, yeah, the new Jay-Z Nipsey Hussle collabo is on there. So, the phone wouldn't let me type collabo. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Collabo is not a word. It's a shortened word for collaborate. I see you got it, how you laugh. But did you get what I'm saying, Zerb? Is because that's what we say in the hood, the ghetto, the people I know, the people that are associated with things like rap or that's what we say, collab. So in my mind, that was a real word.
Well, you just got to wait long enough. It will be because you got blame in their mouth. If you just wait long enough.
But I'm saying as far as a word, I feel like it's acknowledged. In Webster's on my phone. I'm saying, wait, why this thing won't let me put collabo?
Because you can't pull up something that ain't there yet. And that's what I like about self-awareness. You're gonna pull up what's there that you don't even know about. There's so much we don't even know about ourselves. We live in so many contradictions that we don't even know when we're in them.
See,
you know what I mean? But go ahead.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that I thought that was like a real word, and that showed me. And the example I'm giving in is just like what we're talking about today with this interview that Oprah did. Maybe they didn't know, I heard Piers Morgan defending them on a show, and he was like, he said, maybe they weren't trying to be flippant, or maybe they just didn't realize that was a racially motivated statement. What color tone would the child come out? And I'm willing, because of what we practice in the example I just gave, I'm willing to agree. They probably didn't think it was nothing right. That makes sense to ask that kind of question. And that's the thing I'm saying about practicing self-awareness. It will allow us to see where we're making things that don't make sense, all the sense in the world. Like, and we can talk about like the Oprah interview and this, but this is all really trying to help us see ourselves. Where am I telling myself things that I think make sense that don't make sense? Like different. In the Detroit area, we got it's a lot of anger going on. We got people shooting back at the police, people shooting on the freeway. Now, I want to believe when you come out your house in the morning that you're not saying, okay, I'm walking out the door because if you're shooting, we got this problem in Detroit where they're shooting at cops. I want to believe if you walk out the door, you say, okay, today I'm going out the door to die. I don't want to think you're thinking that, but this is what's happening because it's something in my experience I'm not catching. If you get into a shootout with a cop today, you don't know this, but you're walking out your house that day saying, I'm going to commit suicide today.
Exactly.
But
you don't know that though.
Yeah, you don't know that. This is what I'm talking about. And then let's make it even more subtle. We talked about it the other day. The language we use, so the fear of money, we get a bill and we become overwhelmed by a bill. And But am I aware of the language I use? Oh, I gotta chase the bag, or every dime I spend, another dime go out, or every dime to come in, another one go out, or I just can't never stay ahead. Are you? Am I aware of the language? Because what I'm saying, I'm prophesying into my life moment to moment. But do I hear myself saying this? So before we judge the Royals and all of them, let's make sure we're listening to our own self, because in their mind that statement made sense. I'm pretty sure somewhere that I don't know this, but I'd be willing to bet they didn't sit back and say, "Hey, let's see how racist the royal family can be today." That statement made sense, and that's what practicing self-awareness is about. Is what statements am I making daily that I think don't make sense and are holding me back from having the life that I want and the hot life that I believe I should have? Because anytime that we're troubled, and I'm pretty sure we have an audience of people, you've been troubled, you've been disturbed. What thoughts are you secretly telling yourself that you can't see? Because that's the only reason we're having disturbances. Go ahead, Zerby.
Zerd, when we talk about the split self, this is why self-awareness is so important, because it allows you to reconcile a self that you don't like to be, bring it together. See, self-awareness is so important because, and what I like about, what I like more than anything about self-awareness?
Yeah.
You can use it with everything. You don't have to give up anything. You don't even have to give up your racism, right? You don't have to give it up. Once you become self-aware, you become aware of it, and it's going to automatically fall away.
Absolutely.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to struggle to get rid of anything. Knowledge going to release it from you when you become aware of it. You know what I mean? It's almost like somebody tell you close your eyes and they put some smooth rocks in your hand, and they tell you to open your hand, but they diamonds.
Yeah.
And you'll cherish. You'll protect your hand and won't open it. And then one day you take a look and see they're just rocks. Do you think you're really going to hold them? You see what I'm saying? Once you find out what they are, you got to drop them. So that's what self-awareness does. Self-awareness allow you to let go of behavior you think is the truth. Now, it may have been true one time when you first received it, and it may not. The bottom line, you need to see it before you can change it.
So can I give you an example? Can I put it in the
put it in the physical?
Put it in the physical so you can see it in my life. So hopefully you'll see it in yours. So the springtime is coming and the nice weather is breaking. And in this area, a lot of people are going to begin planning events. Now, I was what you call a mobile disc jockey. I've been getting a lot of calls or people that, want me to come do their event now. I experienced the experience of split self. But I said over the winter, I don't want to do that mobile DJing because I don't want to take away from my personal time. And what I'm passionate about is us carrying this message about self-awareness, because it's done so many great things for my life. I feel like I've been touched to get out here and share this. And that's what I'm passionate about. And if I'm not doing that. And so it's like you said, if you practice self-awareness, you won't even have to start dropping things or getting rid of things. It'll allow you to see what serves you and what doesn't. And what I've noticed is I watch this, Zerb. I haven't stopped DJing. What I did was started being more aware of my decision not to DJ. And what I've been allowed to see is the more I move away from what I don't feel that serves me, what serves me shows up.
Yeah.
I've been getting so many great opportunities in so many other areas, but because I'm standing fast on, that's just something I don't want to do, and I'm good at it. I can make money. People like to see me doing it. It's not hard to do, but I don't want to do it, and but if I'm connected to that thought, you don't turn down money. You got to chase the bag. You got to get it. I've been allowed to hear myself saying those things. And now that I'm aware of me saying those things, its opposite is showing up now, meaning I'm not connected to it as though that's me. That's probably just a consciousness that's been developed, but that's not me. And look what's been showing up, sir. It's more than enough. You have all the resources you need for this moment right here. The source is always abundant. When Jay played, I sent Jay a mix, and it's a song on there, and he highlighted this weekend, and I was partying at home, and he was partying in the studio. But the song was "Be Still and Know," and being aware of that train of thought of having to, chase, and it's like, but be still and know, and you'll attract an abundance of what you need. Go ahead, Zerb.
What you observe that be still and know is self-awareness.
Absolutely.
It's really saying be observant.
That's your thing. Hesitate,
slow down, slow your action down. So we don't understand that the moment we experience that experience and the moment we react to it, that space is so small that nothing else can show up before we mess up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what me and you talking about is slow your reaction down to stuff you normally react. Say if you're the person always got to speak your mind, start letting some stuff go. You ain't always got to say something, and learn something about always speaking up. Sometimes you're going to realize you'll learn more if you let some stuff go.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's self-awareness right there, because you like allowing yourself to see what would this experience be like if I didn't react the same way I do all the time. Now, I was just piggybacking what you were saying.
Yeah, let me add on to what that be still and be still and you'll know, right?
Yeah.
It's important to understand that inside of us, the only thing that can be still is us. See, we don't understand our mind and emotion has what I call a reactive free will. Now, what's a reactive free will? A reactive free will means that my mind and emotion can't stop themselves from reacting to every experience, and a free will means we can't stop them neither, right?
Right.
See, when I understand that the part that keeps me split is this voice in my head that's talking to me about, oh, I should go like say, let's use your example, the DJ. I should go on and get that money. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't really feel like doing it. I'm split now, right?
Right.
I don't really feel like doing it, but I ought to get the money. And what I said to you yesterday when you told me about the experience, because you decided what not to do, I said, man, you didn't grew so much that money didn't motivate you to stay split. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Yeah,
boy,
man,
you almost had me talking in tongues. I don't even talk in tongues.
You was gonna find it. That one hit home. That one there. I'm telling you.
Man, look! You showed me something about myself that blew me away. Like money. Yeah, money used to so and oh man, wow! I hate. Well, I ain't gonna say I hate to bring this up, but that mix back up into that royal thing. That's why we look at people certain ways, because we've given them the value. But we're the value creators. But
remember I used to say that all the time.
Right.
Nothing on the earth can give value but us.
Right, but
a wrong family if everybody didn't buy into it. You can have a wrong family if everybody buy into it.
Man, sir, don't do that, man. You gonna get us in trouble. You're right. Right. If everybody didn't believe that money was everything on the earth, you're right. That couldn't exist.
Couldn't exist. And here's the thing: we created money. Money didn't always exist. Do you think a $5 note is less than a 10 and a 10 less than a 20? No, they don't know that, because they can't get themselves value, and they don't have the awareness to be aware of their value. You see what I'm saying?
Zerb, you about to send me down this road. I'm gonna go ahead and go there. So we got this language now on the internet, and it seems to be this war against like black men and black women, and one of the guys that's spearheading all of this jargon is this guy called Kevin Samuels. So like on his show, he's talking about high value people and alpha males and beta males, and some people are higher value than others. And I'm listening to everybody that's feeding into this narrative, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Who decides what's high value to you? Don't you decide that? How do you call?
decide that.
And a lot of people are getting mad at some things he's saying. But first, if somebody calls in because they want to know how to get with somebody they consider high value, then to me, you're lost. You're devoid of any self-awareness because what you have determined that this person is whatever you call it high. But once again, that's being in a capitalistic society and everybody thinking that any greatness is associated with money. But like you used to say all the time, what made America great was the people, not the money.
People made America, not the money.
Right.
People made America great. Now watch this. Now, about 3 weeks ago, I had a buddy of mine. He called me. He wanted me to do a Zoom NA meeting, right?
Okay.
And I had done some meetings for him before, right?
Right.
And I'm finding it's hard for me to do NA meetings on Zoom because not just on Zoom, NA meetings period now. Not because the NA meetings have changed, because I have changed, right?
Okay.
So the first 2 times I did it for him, I was split, Zerd. I'm telling you. I didn't want to do it, but I did it because he was my boy. So he called me the other day to do another one, right?
Yeah.
Now, the problem I have with the NA meetings from where I'm at now is that's all they do is talk about problems. Nobody bringing no solution to the table. I'm not going to sit here and listen to an hour of problems or 2 hours. Sometimes the meetings go on all night, right?
Okay.
Now, I ain't saying ain't nothing wrong with it for the new person, but these persons got 30 years and they still crying about the same problem. I'm saying, man, your story should change in 30 years, right?
Right.
So look, there he calls me and he asked me to do another meeting. And initially, I said, okay, this is the last one. That's what I said to him.
Okay.
So I said, let me hear what kind of meeting So I went and listened to the meeting. I said, you know something, I ain't doing no more. I already committed. I know where I'm going. I'm going with this message we got. This message is right up there with electricity when it comes to changing humanity, right?
Right.
So I called him back. It was hard for me to call him back there because I didn't want to let him down. So I was split again. See what I'm getting at?
Wow.
And I just, you know what I'm saying? This goes on all day.
Man.
Be all right with everybody and then be all right with yourself. It's hard.
Now, and you know what? I experienced the same thing with something I'm dealing with in 12-step. It was a requirement asked of me, and I just didn't feel like fulfilling it. And so what we're talking about, audience, is we're talking about the split self, where in our day, we're going to have this day where things are going to be asked for us. And some things we're going to want to do, some things we feel out of obligation. But what I would suggest and what I would ask everybody to accompany along with self-awareness is whatever you decide, just be aware. What you're saying is I don't know what the answer is, even though we really do. But you're saying I don't know the answer. And I want the answer to be revealed to me. You're creating a space for God to help you understand this. You know, put it this way: you need to work to be at peace with whatever you decide. Because even if you decide the most noble of noble ideals, if you're not at peace with whatever you pick, that's an attraction level. So let's say if my bill's behind him. I really want this. I work 40 hours, but I really, they asked me to do this. That's on my free time. And I really can't turn this money down. And if you decide, well, you know what, my free time is more important to me. What I need to be is I need to be aware, because if I'm going to sit somewhere and all I'm going to think about is, man, I shouldn't have turned down that money. I didn't mess up. You're not going to be at peace there either. Or if let's say you choose the opposite, if you go do it and the whole night you like, man, I shouldn't have did this and I should have been doing my free time and this little money ain't worth nothing. So now you're not at peace there. So how can you attract something good if you're not at peace? How? Tell me, Zerb, how do you attract something good if you're not at peace with it?
You can't, but here's how you get at peace with it. Like you said, through awareness. Here's what you do. Whatever I decide, whether to do something I like or don't like, I decide that I've made this decision. and I'm gonna learn from it. See,
Wow, you saying you go as an observer? Wow.
I'm going as an observer. I'm not going in as an angry person or somebody who compromised themselves, right?
Yeah.
I'm going in and saying, look, I made the decision to do something I didn't want to do. Now, show me what I can learn from it. And the experience is going to show you. And then the next time it come up, you're going to automatically remember the experience and say, no, I'm good this time. I'm good. We're going to pass. So I don't want to do it now. I'm good. Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to work. I'm good. See, you got to go in with awareness. See, there's a feedback loop in our experiences there that we miss.
Wow. Right? We got to write that down right there. Can I put that can I steal that and put it in my next book?
Yeah, you can put it there because I'm writing another one too. So you better get it now before I take it back.
Both our books going to be talking about a feedback loop.
Feedback, because remember, the information that created the mind you use came from the loop. Meaning came from your experiences first.
Right.
When you was born, you couldn't read, but you were still learning, right? Mm-hmm. So you learn. See, this is the crazy part of how life set up. The setup, I think the setup sets us up to be trapped by thinking, right?
Okay.
We the most powerful entity on the earth, but we got to learn from the earth about ourselves, right?
Right.
Now, how the earth going to teach you how to be powerful, especially the African American in America? The African American in America are going to be taught to be powerless, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to use that information to live from, right?
Right.
So now I need to go in my experience and see what information I'm using. I need to see my programming. You're not going to see that by reading. Reading just gives you more information that may set you off in a different direction of thinking.
Wow.
But to see your foundational information, it has to be done through your experiences. Man. Why? Because that's where it's reacting. Man,
wow. Man, that was, oh my God, that was so beautiful. And that just wrap it up like what we was saying, what we was talking about with the Royals. And I know y'all a little upset, and I know we're a little touchy. And we got a right to be touchy about that racism subject. But what I want you to learn is, instead of saying how bad the Royals are for their missteps with their grandchild, and not understanding that it's certain topics and things and expressions that are considered racist, what we need to do is we need to be aware, look in my day and see, where am I causing poverty? Where am I causing anger? Where am I causing fear? Where am I in my day saying something? And I can tell you, I'm gonna give them a clue. Whenever you're disturbed, you practice in one of those three: fear, anger. Whenever you're disturbed by something, if you can catch it, practice self-awareness, because that's where you're unconsciously practicing those things. Am I right, Zerd?
That's it, Zerd. And the key to practice self-awareness is to stop making the same decisions all the time. And I don't think we realize to not make a decision is a decision. You see what I mean?
Sir, I think we're out of time. We got enough time to give our info, Jay. Let's give our info, Zerb. You want to give out the email?
Yeah, self-aware 2021 at yahoo.com. Self-aware at 2021 at yahoo.com.
Okay, and this is for all the listeners. You can check me out on Facebook. I'm Robert Shakhan, Robert Shakhan, or you can go to my website to order my book, www.rshakhan.com. That's www.rshakhan.com. You can go to my website or listen you can check me out on Instagram, Robinski5, ROBINSKI 5. And next week we're going to go live on Facebook. We were live on Instagram this week. We're going to try Facebook next week, and you can go live with us. And if you can't get in on the phone line, you can send us your questions. We'll try to answer some of you guys' questions about how to practice self-awareness and be better in your daily walk. We love you, Detroit. We'll see you next week.
All right. Later.
You have just been made aware. The Practicing Self-Awareness Show with host Robert Shakhan and Jose Villegas. Contact Rob at 313-283-5651 or email at selfaware2021@yahoo.com. That's selfaware2021@yahoo.com. And tune in again every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. for the Practicing Self-Awareness Show with hosts Robert Shakan and Jose Villegas, right here on WCHB AM 1340, the voice of the church.
Say it loud with the voice of the church. WCHB AM 1340, Royal Oak, Detroit. Streaming online at WCHB.